Good morning, good morning. Your top gappers look tiresome. Let's see. Well, yeah, I'm looking at them too here. Let me go ahead and switch it over. We can take a look. All right. Good morning. Smooth sounds, yes, sir. All right. Yeah, the available funds for trading is actually cutting off a bit. Let me see if we can customize that with something else that would work. I mean, cash and sweep works, but I believe there was something wrong with doing it like that. Because at least this is visually more appealing. Good morning, Proton Junkie. Go ahead and pop the chat out. Yeah, I think I'll keep Sir up just because this one did end up curling. Okay. Gotta remove everything else, I think. So keep Sir. Good morning, no thanks. Yeah, it might just be DRMA. I mean, this ANNA could turn into something, but the volume's still quite light. Yeah, I think DRMA is probably the closest thing to anything. Had a pop slightly before 7. No news. Yeah, no news on this pop. I guess I should keep ANNA on watch. It is like slightly moving here. Wow. Okay, so went from slightly moving to very much moving. Only 30,000 volume though. 40 million shares. This is a stock that has bled, but it started to curl. See, a recent IPO. Okay. Well, I say recent. It's not really that recent. Yeah, okay, so a little over a year ago. So not super recent, but it has IPO'd at one point. So there's not a direct catalyst. This is more of a continuation from this earlier move from last month. Significant volume inflow. Okay. It is not shortable on Thinkorswim. Let me check Weeble. It is shortable on Weeble. $238 bar fee. Okay, I have my orders out. If this does want to move, it is getting significant volume inflow despite no recent catalyst, which is interesting. Has a W pattern on the daily chart. I see it. Yeah, I see the W. The George W. Okay, so we're pushing 5 really, really hard. But there does seem to be some kind of wall here, too. Okay, so there was this prospectus back in November. So it's a bit older. Yeah, so it looks like a bit of a rug pull now. 70-cent drop. Yeah. So whoever had a wall here at 5 clearly just was willing to sell. And it was a lot. Sir continuing to grind higher. Okay. Trap holders from yesterday. Good morning, Dubin. Good morning. Surprising recovery. I really thought this was just going to be over after that big of a rug, but that's a pretty big retracement from this breakdown. Maybe there's going to be more to it. I am postured if this does want to make a move. Also, to clarify for anyone who was wondering, I decided not to document the trade I took yesterday for the strategy. I decided it was too speculative, too much of a deviation from my strategy. So the winner from yesterday, I did not document in the data. I chose to count yesterday as a no trade day. Good morning, David. Yeah, this has recovered way more than I would have expected. Very interesting. Am I still able to short it? Okay, I'm still able to short it on Weeble. Thinkorswim is just gonzo. So it is entirely Weeble allowing me to engage with this. So if I lose, it's Weeble's fault. I'm kidding. To jump over to Sir for a moment, it has grinded back up to almost the high of the previous high of yesterday. DRMA kind of just ranging. Volume's good, but it's not really going anywhere. We'll see what Anna does. The fact that it's done this much of a recovery and it's holding here gives me a little bit of confidence. We'll see if this turns into something. Blame is better to give than receive, of course. You always want to give, including blame, to other people. Still very interesting how this stock has been performing, right? You had this weird looking sell-off yesterday that ended up fully reversing into a move up. There hasn't been any news on this stock since like the 12th. So yeah, even before, no, this moved even before that. This moved back on the 26th. There was no news for this? Strange. It's really just gonna sell off here. Don't give me hope. It's still shortable. I think it's really interesting that even after all of this, stock still has locates available. Slow Friday so far? Yeah. Not surprised, right? It's Friday. Okay, got the 1 minute high. Some volume coming in. Well, I'm really low across the board. Not surprising, as you said. Yeah, it really isn't. Perhaps I should have even made a prediction and said, made the stream title something like Slow Friday question mark. I thought about it, but I decided, no, that's too pessimistic. Okay. Breakdown, but it does immediately recover. This stock seems to have a history of failing, then immediately recovering, right? You had this big fail and recover. You had this fail and recover. Curious if that pattern's going to hold up. Do I trade both sides, short and long? Currently, it is just short side. Or I'm trying out a new strategy. All right, we're like 20 days in or whatever. But I was a long bias trader for my other strategy. I am exclusively just trying to trade short to practice this new one. And quite frankly, I'm not getting many trades because there's nothing moving enough for me to want to engage. You think pre-market has been bad? I often trade after hours for the first hour. That's been appealing recently. It's definitely been slow. It's been bad. February was very bad. March, the first week of March looked like it was getting better, but March has cooled off again as well. And maybe it's the Iran war, maybe it's just because SPY is going sideways, I don't know. But regardless, it has not really been performing. All this time, I thought you were a shorty. No, I mean, this is the first short bias trade I've done. Or not trade, strategy that I've done. I tried shorting, back when I was newer, I did try shorting, but I quickly gave up on it because I did make money shorting, but I was just terrified of the stocks I was shorting, right? I was shorting stocks that would pop up, and I was seeing stocks run 100, 1,000%, and just trying to think about that upside risk was just too much for me. Especially without a strategy, right? I was just shorting things that popped. Yeah, that's how you get into trouble. But no, I've been almost entirely long biased. I guess you could argue, like with my main account, I do short calls and short puts, right? I sell premium. So I guess you could argue from that sense I am short biased, but I mean it's a long biased position. I'm just shorting. That doesn't necessarily mean I'm short biased. Ironic enough. It sure come down easier than going up. It feels that way. Yeah, and this looks appealing seeing this bounce, but it's just grinded down. Disappointing. Yeah, I wasn't even near fill either. I needed like 570s. Right. I was like 70 cents off. Not surprising though. It's a quiet Friday. There was no news on this push up. And in fact, there was actually light volume on the first move. The volume didn't come in till here, and it was only 41,000. Again, you get this top heavy setup where all the volume came through at the top. Hmm. Yeah, I gotta wake up. I'm like half asleep. Sarah's been pulling back for a while. I've been watching it on the side. Significant pullback, but okay, there. Right as I say it, you get a surge of volume. A green candle. It does seem a little bit barcodey, though. The volume isn't super high. Okay. Okay, nice pop on Sir. Only on 20,000 volume, though. Yeah, this entire move has been pretty light volume. Alright, it is shortable on Thinkorswim. About Weeble. Is it still shortable on Weeble? It's shortable on Weeble as well. Yeah, it's just, there's no resolution. There's no volume. No follow through. Just a very calm Friday. Calm, slowing, boring, needless FOMO. I would disagree. I feel like with FOMO, that's more when things move and you want to get in it. Fear of missing out. There is a, I would say there's not really FOMO in this case, because there's literally just nothing. So I would push back a little bit on your definition. Yeah, DJ isn't trading. Candy hasn't traded. Yeah, no trades from my peers, it looks like. So neither of them engaged with Anna. AZTR still slowly grinding up. Like I said, I'm not interested because it's a penny stock. But it appears to be the only thing that's held up so far. Today's dead as it gets. 0 moves and a quick pop, but no edge long. Looks worse than yesterday. Yeah. Yeah, Anna popped up, but there was no news on it. It's a Friday. Even the setup was bad. Like I said, low volume on the push-up. The volume was top-heavy. It's kind of textbook. I still get my orders for Anna. If this does want to curl back and then make that second leg. So I'll keep the orders. It's a super low odds that it's going to happen, though, if I'm being honest. And, okay, no news on this. Just a little spurt. Just a little blip. At this point, it's just phenomenally frustrating. Feels like pre-2020 small crap trading. Yeah, it's surprising too because I genuinely thought last year, like around summer of last year, all right, summer's kind of like notorious for being cold. Summer last year was a beautiful, beautiful period. Right? We had a lot of momentum, a lot of activity. And it just feels like for the last 5 months, it's just been brutal. Maybe it's the SPY stalling out. Maybe it's the lack of direction. Who knows? Right? I mean, we had, like, what was it? We had a lot of crypto-related things happen around 2025. Early 2025. And crypto was going crazy. Right? There was certainly significant FOMO in that department. Right now, it just seems like dust and echoes. Summer last year was crazy. Yep. I kicked myself in the butt for not trading around that time because I was busy with my software company. Very fancy. Yeah, and while it's been colder, I don't know if you guys have picked up on it, but when I started this channel, I was hoping to grow it, hoping to grow an account, and I've really shifted my perspective on what I'm looking to do at the moment, right? I don't know if you can tell, and maybe it's depressing or a little disheartening, but I've really shifted from trying to aggressively grow a brand or a channel or anything to more just experimenting with a strategy in a cold market where I'm not really expecting much. Right? Those are two very different things. You're in Anna long? Good luck, sir. And it could curl back, right? We've seen it do this twice, where it looked like it faked out and it did a little bit of a pop. This one actually is not so convincing, but it did do this once. You want to see 149 break. Well, I mean, you got your break, but it doesn't look very... That wasn't a very convincing break. $449 is last week's high. I see. Okay. I mean, maybe life will run back to it. We'll see. Yeah, there seems to be a big fight around 450. Yeah, I was looking at normal hours too. Yeah, I can see. Back on March 9th. Yeah. You do have a bit of an uptrend too. If this does hold. Right? You got that uptrend. Even a channel, really. There's an upper half to it too. So you've actually got a bit of a channel. And you kind of had it on the flip side too, a downward channel. The 5 EMAs are stacks, using them as support. Makes sense. Yeah, this Anna stocks behaved very weird. Very, very weird. And it has been behaving weird for the last several weeks, too. It took a starter because you're not 100% confident. It's strange though that it would pop up, like if it would flush this hard, why the huge recovery? Like you're going from 430 to 490. It seems unusually big of a recovery just to give it all back anyway. It also took a starter on BIAF at 330. BIAF isn't even on my scanners. Okay, well, okay, it's popping up now. Yeah. Yeah, this is one that's just been grinding higher over several days. Let's see, is BIF shortable? Not shortable on Thinkorswim. Check Weeble. Is shortable on Weeble. I do have orders out for BIAF if it does want to go up. Focusing on BIAF for you. Seems to have potential there. Good inflow. No, I do want to clarify too, there was no news on this pop. This is purely a continuation of the move it's been having the last several days. So purely a continuation move. Low EV moves. Don't short me. No, no. Look, I'm only going to be shorting you if this pops up significantly. So you'll be well into profit by the time I would be entering short. My massive short orders will not suppress you here. You kidding? I know. I'm just kidding too. Yeah, even BIAF, it's only up 19%. And the first half of this move was on such light volume. Honestly, this looks to me like it's not going to go up much, but we'll see. Sarah's only kidding. You're intelligent. No, yeah, no. I was only kidding too. We're jokesters here. Okay, very nice. The volume actually on this pop was a bit lower than I would have expected. So a very quick pop up to 370s and then retrace. The strategy gets into things before volume comes in. Yeah, I'm kind of the opposite. I mean, I guess that would have to be the case with shorting, right? You don't want to be shorting when volume's coming in. You want to come in after it's exhausted. 60,000 share seller on BIAF. 60,000 can be taken out by this volume, but it's quite a lot. Yeah, that's true, right? Like, a person could be long or short this and make money. So they're not inherently contradictory. Where someone goes short could be where someone takes profit. Okay, the 60,000 share seller is at 359. Let's see what happens when we hit 359. Do we actually punch through it? Or does that sell wall move down more? Because that sell wall's been moving down. All right, so big order for selling at 359. I'll take my longs into washouts when other longs come in and shorts cover. Yeah. Okay. Are we gonna test that level? We're like 1 penny away from it. All right, we're testing the 359 wall. We tested it. Barely even scratched it. Yeah, it's not really reassuring to see a 1 minute pop go straight into that big wall and then immediately fail it. Didn't even really pressure it at all. Don't really like that. This is just frustrating for a scalper like me. Yeah, no, it's very sad. Yeah, okay, so the wall moved up a penny. It was 359, now it's 360 for some reason. So they moved their order up 1 penny. I don't know why that would be relevant, but okay. Was that just to trick people that maybe the floor or the ceiling got broken? Like, look, it moved up a penny, guys. The ceiling's broken. Bye, bye, bye. I mean, that could be what was going on. Because now it's going to immediately reverse. Make a 1 penny high. Then flush. Believe in my strat. 360 will go. Yeah, I have no idea. Yeah, I don't know either. Tell you what will be scary is if I see the level 2 show that big 60k order moved their order down. Like they moved it up from 359 to 360. I want to see if I see that order again. Really starting to tinker with some rules and ideas in regards to shorting, so I can scalp some of these tickers on low locate costs. It might be worth me going back through the last, like, 2 months of data, because a lot of these stocks have failed. And I could even maybe experiment with super small size on them. All right, 360, the 60k order is still at 360. All right, this order's still there. They moved, no, it's still 360. Still 360. Okay, touch the order again there. Touched it twice. I mean, it's just touching the order, then immediately popping back down. Keep pulling orders over and over again to induce some motion. I'll use time and sales instead of level 2. I can respect that. And for me, like, the biggest indicators are volume and price action, right? That's what I've lived by for my old strategy. That's a big part of what I use for my new strategy too. Yeah, the level 2 and time and sales, they're interesting psychological components, but I don't weight them very heavily. With that said, if I was long, I would not like to see that big seller constantly not getting broken. And conversely, if I was a short seller, I would like to see massive orders stacked on my side, right? I mean, it doesn't ever hurt to see a massive order stacked on your side. Yeah, volume spikes and price action, yeah. So interestingly, when it was over here, the order was at 359. They moved it up by 1 penny to 360. So it kind of looked like we were getting incrementally higher. Slammed it down. Tried to curl back up. It just touched it briefly for 2 taps. Barely even dented it. Now we're making a newer low. Conversely, Anna is falling off a cliff. Oof. I tell you, trading any of this right now just feels so dangerous. Yeah. I need a way to change the window from here, because I can't even cancel the orders, because I was going to cancel my Anna orders. It's whatever. Oh, I can do it here, actually. Yeah, I think this will work. Yeah, there we go. Okay. So I can cancel them that way. Good, good, good. So I have orders on SER, and I have orders on BIAF. If either of those want to move. Anna's completely fallen to the depths. There's no point even having orders anymore. I figured Anna was going to tank. That's why I got out before. I have level 2 on Weeble and Mumu, and I don't see that order. What else do you need to pay to see that? So there's 2 types of orders. I can explain that. So I'm using top of book, or National Best Bid Offer. So it's letting me see the top bid and the top ask for the main exchanges. And because of that, I can see one of those exchanges is showing the order. If you have something like NASDAQ Total View, that lets you see every order throughout the entire book of NASDAQ. But if that sell order is not on NASDAQ, you don't see that order. So there's a downside to each, right? If you have National Best Bid Offer, you only see the surface orders. You see the best bids and the best offers. So there could be a massive seller or a massive buyer that I just don't see. And that's part of the problem with only having NBBO, is that there's some information I don't have. Now, I've tested both. I think NBBO is better than NASDAQ Total View. Yeah, NASDAQ Total View, exactly. That's why I want to try out at some point. Yeah, and I think and I do have it. Like, I could even compare the two, because I still have Total View for a year because of the Weeble Premium thing, right? So I still actually have it. I just don't really use it, because I prefer National Best Bid Offer. Because NASDAQ, I asked Claude. Claude said that NASDAQ represents on small caps about 30% of order flow. So you're missing out on a significant chunk of all the data. Codex, check it out. I will check it out. All right, so volume's kind of light. Yeah, downtrending stock. Had a pop recently. No news. I mean, I don't know what you're wanting me to look at. This has very light volume. No news. There's nothing really going on with it. I mean, it's at its high, but there's just no volume. I don't think there's really anything to this. Okay, so BIAF, even though there was that big seller, it's not actually getting pushed down that aggressively. Even the volume's dropped off significantly, right? 60,000 volume, that's several minutes of volume. So that's 60,000 orders carrying a lot of weight right now. Thank you for the information. Yes, sir. It's amazing Schwab gives level 2 for free. Their order fills suck, though. I don't know. It's a mixed bag. It depends what you're doing. If you're trying to be a scalper, right? Putting an order and waiting like a second for it to fill feels like an eternity. And not only that, their slippage mechanic seems strange. It seems like a lot of times I've experienced with Thinkorswim that I get some very strange type of slippage. Like, it feels like let's say you market order into something, you expect 1 cent to 5 cents of slippage, depending on where you get filled. It feels like more often than not, I get the upper end of that slippage. Am I the only one that feels that way? Right? Like you mark it in, you're expecting 1 to 5 cents. It feels like more often than not, you get that 4 to 5 cents of slippage. Occasionally, you'll get this really weird good fill, where it's like you get no slippage or you even get improvement. But it seems like that's almost never the case. And in fact, I would say it's more often not the case. And I'm comparing my experience with Thinkorswim to something like Webull or Lightspeed or just something else that would have more of a actual variance to it. Okay, so we could be curling on the 5-minute here. I'm really curious to see. It's ultimately going to come down to, do we get a 5-minute curl? Which would say if this holds up. We are very top heavy, right? A lot of this volume on the push up has been light volume. So we are significantly top heavy. You get negative slippage on DAS Ocean. Sometimes get a fill that no one gets. Had a recent fill below where the low of the candle printed because there were so few fills there. I had something really interesting happen, and I genuinely don't even know how it happened. There was this like 30-cent stock. And I was talking about it a good bit on the Discord because I was just so, oh wow, look at that pop. Do I need to shut up? Do I need to focus? Okay, we're coming up. That order is still there. 360. I'll explain my story later. Yeah, 360 still has that 60,000 share order. We're right up against it. 1 penny separating us from it. The fact that you had this much inflow and we still haven't even tested the order yet feels concerning. You're still a 1 penny? Okay, we're touching it. Okay. About 17,000 shares got bought from that wall. 43,000, and it got taken out. All right, so the 360 wall is now gone. To the moon, baby. Look at that huge volume inflow after that wall got taken out, too. Wow. So someone had enough conviction to buy like 50,000 to push it up to here, and then when 360 was touched, to buy another 60,000. Okay. Seeing that wall get taken out was huge. Let's see if this turns into anything. It's so interesting too to see how something can look so bearish but then flip bullish. Right? Seeing all this downward pressure and the massive order was still not even hit. But then to see 50,000 buying pressure come in, then another 60,000 push through that level, and then see like the volume shoot up to 200,000. It's so interesting how that can work. But we've had these topping tails too, so I'm curious if there was just another big order here. Still a lot of topping tails. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, even this isn't necessarily a topping tail, but on the 5-minute, it looks like one, right? This is a topping tail on the 5-minute. And for all intents, even though it held and closed here, the fact that it rejected immediately, this reads essentially identical to a topping tail to me. You don't see the architect of it, the architecture, but this is essentially a topping tail. These are both topping tails. So that's certainly interesting. New hourly candle coming. Yeah, we're at the top of the hour. I still got my orders to go short BIAF if it wants to get up there. We've still got work to do, though. Like, this BIAF is only up 20%, if you can believe it. Like, all of this just for 20% move. When you think of it like that, it's like, man, what are we even doing? That is incredibly frustrating. So strange. Codex, someone mentioned it earlier. We are actually getting follow through now. So whoever called it out earlier, you're a genius. You're a genius, sir. Okay, does have news. Let me cancel my sir orders. Okay, so it pops up. Honestly, this is very, very high volume. All right, only 2 million shares outstanding, allegedly. I'll need to check on that. But this is super high volume. Yeah, that catalyst is kind of not too crazy. Yeah, this catalyst doesn't read to me as something exceptional. But we'll see. It's getting massive volume. It's an okay catalyst. If it wants to convert to something, though, I will gladly accept that. It had a breakout. Looks like it's struggling. Yeah, let me check on the locates. And the... Okay. Wow, this company has a huge history of shelf registrations. A 2 million figure probably is inaccurate. That would explain why the volume is so high. There's a lot of churn going on here. Bro, this is really not it. Jeez. Excuse me, free float. I would be very skeptical of the free float right now / shares outstanding. It appears to not be correct. Right, I'm looking at the level 2. It looks a little bit thick. The volume is way too high for the alleged float. Right? If there was 800,000 shares a minute, this thing would be to the moon. This looks to me like churn or distribution. Yeah, it could be wrong. Right, but I'm seeing like upwards of like 20,000 shares on the bid and the ask. For something that's allegedly like 2 million shares outstanding, that doesn't track. Yeah, so your thesis on BIF, 8, 9 a.m. sell-off, prep for the open. Fridays are usually read because companies need to take profit from yesterday, sell today, put the money in the books, close the week. So they sell, put the cash in their cash on hand. There's certainly something to that, I think. I don't know how relevant it would be to small caps, but there's still certainly something to that in the grand scheme of things. Why do I get the feeling this thing's just not even going to make a new high? I just feel like with this volume, it shouldn't be able to. I feel like it's just going to attempt to break out and then flush. Oh, am I going to be wrong? It basically made a new high, double topped. Okay, so I would accept that I'm wrong there. I didn't even think it was going to retest the high. Okay. I honestly don't know. I just work in finance and see it a lot when I program. What an upper shadow. Yeah, massive, massive volume churn. But don't worry, guys. It's a 2 million share stock. Trust me, bro. Trust me. The thing says it on Thinkorswim. It says 2 million shares. Trust me. Never mind that they have a bunch of shelf registrations and prospectus. Never mind all that. They're reporting 2 million. $2 billion float. Yeah. So I might be partially right, because my prediction was that you were going to have a failed breakout and then a flush. And it appears that you went to the high, and this might be the start of the flush. So my thesis might still be generally correct here. It depends if it holds or breaks down hard. For my thesis to be correct, this would need to not only fail, but this would need to be a big fail. Like, this would need to go to like 320, 310, 3. I'm talking a big crash. So that's kind of my prediction. I was wrong about how high it would go. I didn't think it would go back to high of day. But let's see where it goes, if it does crash, or if I'm just wrong. Topping tail's enough for you not to touch it. Yeah. I literally do not get an entry signal for anything these days. That's what I'm saying, dude. My backtesting said I should be taking a short every 1 to 2 days. And it feels like lately I've just been taking one short like every 3 or 4 days. That's what I'm saying. There's not a single small cap besides some occasional China runner that continues running upward. Everything else fails and burns. Yeah, and that's the thing. It's like, I recognize the risk reward is not favorable for me shorting some of those like crazy, like 300,000 float or Chinese stock runner. Like, those are the ones where a short seller needs to be careful, you know? So I don't want to be engaging with that. And maybe that's why they run. But yeah, there's just like nothing. And mind you, we're not even up 30% right now. I think we peaked up at like 40. Like 30, 40 up here. Back to 2016 small cap. Oh God. Now that's before I was even around. I don't even know what was it like in 2016? I wasn't even trading back then. There's not a single small cap runner in this market that isn't getting pushed by a furu like Ross. It's like exaggeration, maybe? Not really. The algos and scalpers are missing right now. I just have a hunch. I started 2018. I feel like if you started in 2018, you shouldn't be saying what happened in 2016, right? I mean, let's just be honest. You have the charts, but you don't understand. I feel like you can't really understand the full picture. And the thing is, too, is with back testing, like, unless you have scanners that can tell you what pops the same way something pops today, because that's one of the problems with back testing is that my scanners only work on present, which is why when I was back testing, I had to go back through these live streams. Yeah, fair. I get it. I'm just saying. Yeah, that would be something like if you had data that supported it beyond just surface level charts. Yeah. Are you telling me you want to try out my software soon? No, no, you're good. I mean, I could be a beta tester or something, but because it does exactly that. Really, that's cool. Yeah, because that's like one of the big problems that I have with Thinkorswim, and that's why I had to go through and make my spreadsheets because I had to manually go through and watch what was popping up on the scanners on my live stream, which works, but it's very tedious. Right? It took me probably 100+ hours to do my back testing. Very, very tedious. And I mean, hey, that's a market opportunity, right? If something is inefficient, then that creates an opportunity to make it more efficient. No need for that anymore, bro. I got you covered. Have a bunch of people I want to beta test it soon. Well, I would certainly be interested. That could probably help me out. Good morning, Skivon. Or at least I would say good morning, but I'm not really sure how good it is. Okay, so this went to basically 320, which is like this is the lower end of what I was expecting. Or the upper end, I guess. I was expecting it between 320 and 3. I was expecting a massive dump. This just feels like a moderate dump. I mean, I don't think it's going to personally curl back up. I got my orders. I'll keep them. If it wants to go higher, then I'll be interested. But yeah, I just have so little faith right now in this market. Orbs invests. Okay. Death Spiral stock. Yeah, this has been a penny too long. Price action for Codex feels like a very mini version of CH&R from yesterday. If we break VWAP, expect Ross to jump in, I guess. In about 4 minutes, the volume spike will come. I don't know. I genuinely think Codex isn't going anywhere. Maybe I'm wrong, right? If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But I don't think it's moving. I think there is a very significant chance that it goes down. Or just churns. Remember Orbs when it was still over the counter last OCTO last year? Made so much money on the dumbest trades I've ever taken in my life. There you go. Well, I want to check something. Give me one moment. I want to see if I can change something. Where would I go for this? Would it be application settings? Active trader. Guess I'll do that for now. Might not even be able to short this, but I will at least check. I'm able to. Yeah, I do have orders out if this does want to run up. And then she dies. And then she dies. Okay, Codex curling more than I would have expected to. So I have Codex and Orbs both on watch for me. Codex super stuffy, yeah. I think you're right. Volume is already too high on Codex. And hey, maybe I'm going to be wrong, right? Maybe this will make a new high and break out. Wow. I guess I'm just wrong. Wow. I genuinely thought there was a very, very low chance of it making a new high. I did not think this would happen. All right, we're close to a short. We'll see if we get it. Yeah. Okay, no, I'm not actually. Oh, wow. Okay. Hmm. So I was messing with the price ladder so I could short it on orbs. Okay. No, I'm not actually that close yet. I misunderstood what was changed on the price ladder. I see. Okay, so I just learned a new feature of the active trader window that I wasn't aware of. You can change the way that it shows pricing. Interesting. So wait, can I do... Wait. So it'd be like this. Yeah. Wow. Wow. Okay, that is so cool. Okay, okay. All right. Okay, I did not know you could do that. That's actually so cool. All right. So you can zoom in and out of the active window. Cool. Okay, yeah, I'm not that close to getting filled here. It's still got work to do. What did I find out? Can I show it? I suppose, yeah, I suppose I can. I'll need to... but how do I do that without, like, showing everything and just, like, screwing everything up? Because I can't show the whole window, because it would require me to show it on stream. All right, we're gonna do something really ghetto. Okay, we're gonna do some ghetto. Check this out. So here we got the active trader window. So you have a zoom in and out feature, and the reason this is important is because with orbs, it's basically impossible to short stocks under $1 because they trade in this thousandth of a penny range, right? So I haven't been able to place orders in them before. What I found out is you can zoom in and out. So when I zoom in or zoom out, see, it actually truncates it down to where I can actually place orders reasonably. But the thing is if I transfer over to, say, Codex, it remains zoomed out. So it looks like my orders are super close to getting filled, and these two actually get bunched together. But that's because you look at the range, right? 416, 466. So you can actually change the way that the data is shown here on this spectrum. Like, it looks like I'm about to get filled, but I'm still super far from getting filled. So I think I can just do this. There we go. Okay. So hope that gives some clarification. I wouldn't consider streaming the order flow live. Yeah. I think just showing it very briefly is fine. Okay. But yeah, so because of that, I should actually be able, going forward, I should be able to actually short things like orbs, or at least put the orders out. Orbs did die. So, oh well. I had orders out. Where was my order at? Yeah, I was up at like 120. So I was a little bit close. Not really, but... but yeah, this one just ended up rolling over hard. My main goal is just to stay afloat until the market heats up again. Yeah. It's kind of... I think that's where a lot of us are right now. The button between the zoom in and zoom out will default back to the most zoom in value. Okay, so if I zoom out and I click this center one, center view. No, that just centers it. No. No, that just centers the window, which is still useful to know. Is there a way I could turn it off? Because I go to my settings and there isn't an option to stop the recentering, which is very frustrating because if I'm trying to place an order, I don't want the window to suddenly jump and then I accidentally place an order where I wouldn't have wanted to. Maybe it would be a question for Thinkorswim support. No point in pushing if nothing works, especially long. Yeah. Not for you. It zooms back into the default value. Maybe there's something in this then. Yeah, because you can customize it. Is there... What is trade CNT? Yeah, none of these really seemed like they would do what I'm looking for. All right, this is continuing higher. We're starting to get into striking distance of my entry. It needs a little more, though. $384 to $350. TRNR. This one's popping up. No news. Only 20,000 volume. Nasty. Nasty, nasty. I'm going to cancel my orbs orders. This is obviously not going to get hit. We'll see if TR&R does something for me. The no news is concerning. Okay. Nice push there. A lot of volume going through there at 140s. Maybe this one goes. Okay, so not tradable on Weeble, only tradable on Thinkorswim for me. Did have news, stock repurchase program representing 20% of outstanding shares. Okay, I don't see that. Where do you see that? Okay, okay, I see it, yeah. 5 minutes ago. $500,000 repurchase of 20% outstanding of its outstanding shares at last closing price. Yeah, I see it. Yeah, it didn't show up on Thinkorswim, but yes, I see it now. You're correct, NASCAR. Of course I am. Do you have any doubt? No, sir. I should not have doubted you. I should have doubted Thinkorswim for being such a terrible broker. So they put out a prospectus to dilute 2 weeks ago, and now they're saying they're doing a repurchase program. And that just seems like a lot of wishy-washy back and forth. Hmm. Very strange. Ah, it's out now. Okay, so it just took a minute for whatever reason. But yeah, it's out now. I refused to trade TR and R. I got jacked on it once. I certainly can't do anything. I certainly can't really do a lot at the moment. Unless I adjust the trade to some sort of short side, or just wait. Out now. That's right. Okay, so for whatever reason this is failing, I would have expected this news to actually result in a better move. Like, this feels like almost a buying opportunity, really. Just given the news, but watch it make a new low. CODX, speaking of new lows, CODX has made a new high. Very impressive. So we're still continuing this stair step up, despite the high churn. I still got my orders for Codex too, so if this wants to move, I am there for it. Edge for me in this one so far. I don't get emotional. I used to. I mean, I think we all get emotional. It's just a matter of like how much you control it, right? So somehow TR&R, despite what seems like a great catalyst, has fully inverted. Gotta love it. Unbelievable. Okay, Codex continuing to push. This is the 20th missed fill this week. Yeah. You're telling me, man, I had shorts for TR&R. Like, I was going for it. I bottom ticked it on the penny. Really? Didn't get the fill. It's another slow day in Ontario, jeepers. I mean, this one's kind of moving, right? This one's up almost 50%. This one's very, very close to an entry for me. Less, not a little more than 10 cents, I think. But one more big candle like this would fill me. MNDR. MNDR is moving. No news that I can see. I feel like I gotta clarify that I can see. Getting orders out for MNDR. Oh, I think I might have put the thing in wrong. Yeah. I put day, not exterior. There we go. It might be rolling over already anyway. Okay. So yeah, watching MNDR and watching CODX. MNDR looks like it might just be popping and rolling over, but we'll see. We will see. This had a weird half rug here. MNDS has news acquiring 2 AI data centers. Okay, so that's twice now that Thinkorswim has failed me today, saying there's no news when there is in fact news. Maybe it'll report late, right? TR&R reported 7 minutes late. So maybe I just need to wait 7 minutes? Codex broke out, and now we flush to the BEPS. MNDR is somewhat holding up, so this actually could turn into something. Good volume. Okay, 120. I need to find a place to put this that's not in the way. Actually, maybe here. Yeah, I could probably put it right there. Okay. I'm not entirely sure if Codex is actually going to roll over. This looks incredibly bearish on this candle. High volume, it pushed through. But it didn't follow through immediately. Which makes me wonder if this is a fake out. Yeah, MNDR, I'm still not seeing the news on it. Google it. Yeah, I don't see it. Canceling my BIAF orders. CODX really curling here. All right, we are short CODX now. Here we go. Yep, on that breakthrough 4, I got short. Yeah, there's been a very strong, steady uptrend on this, right? It's just been trending up here this whole time. Even on the upper half, too. What was my idea to short where I did? That is a secret. That is my strategy, sir. Don't worry, we'll see if the strategy works or if it was big dumb, though. I mean, I love to see an immediate rejection, but this still has such a strong uptrend. Arguing that I timed the top might be too ambitious. I do have other orders if this does continue up further, of course. Didn't realize... No, you're good, man. Yeah, if this reverses and doesn't break back through 4, I would really prefer that, but... that's like best case scenario. Yeah, looking at it on the little window here, it doesn't update like in real time. It updates like every second or half second. Okay, could be pulling back for the next breakthrough 4. You're looking for 419 long side. Makes sense, right? It's the upper end of this range. If you break through this, you're going parabolic. 8 days ago, resistance hourly. Okay, well, I'm looking at the daily, but yeah. All right, well, we're in profit for now, but I don't like that we're not immediately breaking down, which suggests maybe this is the start of a base for the next leg. Let's see, SKK. No, it's just a penny stock. We got 5 minutes till the top of the hour. I'm in a position, so obviously I'm going to stay longer. At least to close out this position. $419 was from off hours resistance. Right. Okay. Yeah, because I was looking at the daily, so I'm like, okay, I don't even see where you're talking on this, but maybe there's something on the hour. But if it's from off hours, then that makes sense, I guess. Okay, saw a break, but we've seen this do breakdowns like this multiple times. So I'm not entirely sold. Right, we're still well within the uptrend range. You get these silly pops on MNDR and Codex out of nowhere. Yeah. Yeah, my MNDR entry is getting pretty close too on Weeble. So I may end up being in 2 positions here. Gotta love going from just no trades at all to just suddenly in a bunch of trades. We get to see how we might get to see how I manage 2 trades at the same time. Yeah, we're less than 10 cents for my entry on MNDR. I still have this chart pulled up because this is the one I'm in, but I can look at it at least. So, showing real strength here on this volume candle. The news still isn't populating on Thinkorswim. I believe you that there is news on it, right? This is showing strength. Let's see. Can actually, yeah. I'm gonna shift that. Okay. No trade day for you. Well, this is complete garbage. I mean, yeah, kind of. There hasn't been many great opportunities. BIAF is actually kind of curling back. Interesting enough. Getting ready for the market open dump. Yeah, surprising amount of consolidation here after this breakout. Oh, well, as I say that. I told you above in the chat it was a filing. No, I get that. I saw that. That's why I'm saying I believe you. Yeah, I saw your message, flip-flop. So you might not have your news settings set to show filings. I think it just shows whatever news comes up on Thinkorswim. Because like right now, yeah, like this is where it shows it. It's not even showing it. But we had it on TRNR where they reported this. And this didn't show up until like 7 or 8 minutes after the fact. I can make a note of it though. Because this is Bazinga, so if Bazinga doesn't report it, maybe I just don't see it. I will make a note though. Okay, I made a note for it. Okay, CODX holding well, right? We're still, I mean, if I extend this out, right, we're still holding in this uptrend. There could just be another leg now up to like 420, 424. I could see it. All right, MNDR looks like it could be rolling over. Might just be the second pullback though. They might dump some on Codex, but usually with this volume, we're going to see it hold into open, then dump as an attempt. Yeah. It's an attempt high. Yeah, the thing is with this much volume, the odds of a hard correction are very low. Right? This has been a very slow build-up. Attempt higher, yeah. Yeah, 9 o'clock, by the way. Okay, another pullback. Still well within the channel, though. Touches the bottom of it. Yeah, my cash, like, this is just wrong. Like, the cash and sweep vehicle. I gotta find out which one of these is the correct one to use here. Well, we're gonna do this now while we're waiting. So, it's not cash and sweep. What would it be? Available funds for trading works, but it looks very it looks ugly. I might just need to do available funds for trading, and I need to find some way to represent it better on the thing. Because like this show, no, that's not settled cash. I need to see the balance. It's not this one either. Would it just be cash and sweep vehicle? Like this is what I just did, wasn't it? Yeah. And I don't have 2139. I don't know where they're getting 39 from. Like it's not going to show it either. Why is my cash and sweep vehicle 2139? I don't know. Wait, total cash. Maybe that's it. Total cash. Is this it? No, I don't get it. Why are you showing me 2139? Makes no sense. All right, so we're below the channel now, but barely. So we'll see if we get a reclaim. Yeah, MNDR is just not showing the news for me. The previous low was at 367. Slight break here. Yeah, it's only a slight break. I'm not getting too confident because of the range break. We got a little bit of time until I'm forced to close. I want to give it a little longer. Yeah, the problem is because of the way this grinded up, this is never going to hit my profit target. It's almost entirely going to be a time stop out. Notably, the volume has dropped off considerably here. Possible accumulation. You could also argue maybe there's a Head and Shoulders forming. That's interesting. I'm using my falling knife setup to see where I would have bought for a bounce, and I'm going to use that for my cover level. So if this does get a breakdown, I'm going to be using the dead cat bounce setup as my cover point. If it does want to continue. You put the link in for Discord? Okay, I appreciate it. I will certainly check it out. I might need to cancel my MNDR orders because we're getting too close. Yeah, I still have orders for MNDR, but I'm going to have to cancel them. We're getting too close to market open. I can't afford to risk getting filled on them. ARTL moving. Very big move on ARTL. It's too late for me to get involved with it, but for anyone interested, ARTL is moving a lot. Look at that. No edge for your strat on that one, unless more volume. I had ARTL swing 2 days ago, 609. Ross took a trade on it. I'm not surprised, given how much volatility it has. Yeah, I'm thinking about starting to chase this for a fill now. We're getting pretty close to where I should be covering, so if there's even a drop, I might just try and get out on it. You're kicking yourself for selling ARTL yesterday, but I mean, It could have easily has gone down as much as it went up, you know? Time limit's getting close. Remember my words, April is going to be the hottest month of this year so far. I mean, that's not saying much, really. You're 10,000% sure. That's really sure, man. You're going to put money on that, huh? You're going to size up? All right, I'm going to go ahead and cover there. All right. So, I mean, nice trade to at least end the week. So I ended up taking 3 trades this week. It doesn't even feel like it. This week has felt so slow to me. Very frustrating. But, I mean, how did it go? The one today, the one yesterday, they were both winners. Was the one Monday a winner? I don't even remember the Monday trade. I mean, I need to look, because I don't actually remember what the Monday trade was. Okay, the trade on Monday was a loser. Oh, that was the losing trade. Okay. Gotcha. Or no, it was a 20. Okay, that was last week. So last week was the loser. Had a small winner on Monday, decent winner on Thursday, and a pretty decent winner today. 256 that's solid for 8 shares. Yeah, covering on this breakdown too. Looks, at least looking where I covered, this seems like a decent cover. I still had another 5 minutes I could have waited, but just the way that this was kind of struggling, I just wanted out. But yeah, that pretty much wraps it up here. I'm probably going to head out and I'll watch it go lower. But I'm probably going to head out here. Happy that I was able to make money this week. Not much money, of course, because small size and just very few trades, but it was a green week nonetheless. So I'll go ahead and end it here. I'll catch you guys next week at 7 a.m.